It was very sad last week because we didn't have a new episode of MHA, but at least I didn't, because I watched the dub of this show, as you guys know, and the dub was delayed because of weather problems that they had in Texas, I think. I can't remember what it was, if it was a snowstorm or something. There was some sort of weather problems that made it so they didn't have power. They couldn't do the dub. So there was a delay for a week, which was just sad because I was really missing MHA. And then this week, CrunchyRoll have had some issues, and they don't have the episode up on their platform. And they also haven't said anything about it, which, I mean, come on, CrunchyRoll. Like, it takes 2 seconds to tweet. But the episode's out on some other platform, so I had to do a workaround to get it. Anyway, we're watching Season 6, Episode 16 today of MHA. We are now 3 weeks behind the sub, I believe, so that's a little annoying because I'm sort of dodging spoilers left and right already. But yeah, anyway, we are just going to be getting into this episode, so please make sure to support the video. My Patreon account has full-length reactions if you want to see those, as well as early access for certain shows and exclusive videos. But yeah, anyway, just let me know what you think of the episode and my reaction in the comments below. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more, and let's get into this episode of My Hero Academia. Here we go.
Mr. Aizawa has some serious injuries, but they'll both pull through.
But Deku ain't waking up.
Regained consciousness, except
I mean, he pushed himself.
Hope has arrived because I am here.
Wow, Hawk seeing All Might's debut. But Hawks was an Endeavor fan mostly. There we go. Whoa, an elephant!
I know you snuck into town.
Oh.
You think I'm stupid that I wouldn't find out? Start fessing up, damn it! What were you doing there?
Does he have like wings on his arms?
The TV is busted.
Who the hell cares?
Oh, look, there's
You're
garbage
not
bags
leaving again,
everywhere.
right?
My
Kept him fed and out of sight. I was born pretty soon after.
Move it!
Jesus.
Do I have to tell you? If that brat had never been born, I'd still be free, god damn it!
What? Are there,
Please
there's
just come
eyeballs?
When I grew up, I'd be free.
Well, those eyeballs, can the mother control her eyeballs
Your
individually?
father got caught.
Which got fused with the controlling wings?
He stole a car to get away, but it was slow.
Oh no, they're different
He got
eyeballs.
himself arrested by Endeavor.
Fiction became reality. A hero.
He saved you.
Someone I had only seen on TV. Was real. Part of my life.
What's the point of all those damn feathers, huh? Go!
My god.
If
What an
I used
upbringing.
fierce wings,
Does it look like I have anybody else?
Right, well, accept our payout and you give up all connections to your son and start a new life.
Yeah, give up
Of
all
course, you can
connections
trust
to
that
them.
we'll take impeccable care of him.
My god.
You're going to complete an exclusive program that will turn you into a special hero. How's that sound?
Thing is, this
Training
is
will
a
be
better
tough,
life
though.
for Hawks.
Can you
It's
handle
still
it?
kind of messed up. But
Will
I did want him to get out of that
become a hero
home.
like him?
Oh, good. Thought you died there for a minute.
My god. Whoa, he's got a Batmobile!
On you. It worked out in the end. You looked like a corpse when I brought you to Dabi.
Wow.
You had your identity verified,
That's
your
insane.
real
That was
body,
actually
you'd
his
both be
body.
dead. So they could use you whenever the perfect time.
Oh, that would have been disgusting.
For a while, you slept in suspended animation, floating in one of their secret
That's
facilities.
freaking awful.
Luckily, I got a chance to sneak in and revive you in time for you to save the day.
Time for a
What the hell?
fusion, brothers! Oh yeah! Glutton God and his gang are taking over.
Glutton
the
God.
district. Fiber fire!
Oh my god, he legitimately is Batman. He can just catch people from inside the Batmobile.
My body's still on the mend.
The police have their hands full trying to chase down that load of villains who escaped from prison.
Oh,
Heroes,
yeah.
They closed up shop as soon as the public started criticizing them.
I'll send you some of my own sidekicks.
Oh,
They're angry.
there's still, yeah, some people skeptical.
I want you to know I am very, very proud of you, son.
Really?
Deku Tokoyami!
That doesn't line up with what I'd
Dami
expect.
must have tracked her down. I abandoned her instead of saving her, even though I wanted to help people.
Will I
That's
make
true.
people smile?
The Safety Commission is essentially out of business, and as a result, nobody's around to tell me what to do. Now there's nothing.
That's tying me down.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
I hope you're strong like this guy when you grow up.
So they got the Endeavor doll because it was cheaper. That's fun.
He backed the wrong team, sure.
Yeah.
But at heart, he wanted to help other people. I strive to be like that.
What's the
Damn,
point
being
of all those damn
inspired
feathers,
by
huh?
twice.
First off, I've got to face my origin. By helping Endeavor. He's in trouble.
Okay. Alright, good. He's still on Team Endeavor. Whew! I like, what's his name? Zeno's voice for Hawks there. Zeno's the guy who plays
Panic was
Hawks.
the worst in urban areas. The strain was too much. Something had to break.
Let's grab some food and then hit
Oh, this dude again?
We can take whatever we want in broad daylight.
The
No
carbonation
holding
dude?
back anymore.
Oh
This
my
is our road
god.
now.
I can't read that.
We don't need bros!
Yeah, from now on, we protect ourselves!
Come on. Yes, I think they did it.
The area has been attacked by the Cider House gang.
Oh, Washer hero.
Armed civilians without training in combat against chaotic villains.
God damn.
These fights often resulted in horrifying collateral damage.
Right, that makes sense.
In the days following the raid operation, such incidents became commonplace across the country.
That's really interesting.
Where were you?
I have no choice but to fall on my sword.
Most
What?
were moderately successful professionals. Some were veterans who coasted on reputations from the old days.
Is he
who couldn't
retiring?
face this new reality.
So your solution is to resign when we need help?
Wow, what? No.
Number 9 hero, Yoroi Musha,
I like him.
retired. With everything in turmoil, we have to ask ourselves. As the days
Oh
pass,
my god.
how
Stay.
many of us will remain?
God damn. This is just the worst days of Endeavor's life, it feels like.
Come and dance with me in hell, won't you?
That would feel like a nightmare, like a
Must have
bad
been
dream.
Toya's plan.
That whole speech.
He knew that I would survive the fight. It was just like before.
Yeah.
My child was going to die in front of me. But the truth about me is undeniable.
Apparently, I was a failure to my
That's
father.
pretty cool, the
Before long, he gave up
static.
on me, and then
I can't fight my own son.
Oh. Oh, well, Shoto's here. Shoujo!
Now we can all check in on each other.
I love Fumi.
Are you all okay? Really? I failed. And it's too late.
Oh,
My
no.
regret. And my guilt too. Everything.
What's this about your heart?
Oh.
Regret and guilt, I understand. In fact, we felt it much more than you have. I came to talk to you.
Oh.
About our family. And about Toya.
Oh my god. Oh, come on. Give me more. Give me more now. Okay, yeah, the title of this episode was the Hellish Todoroki Family Part 2, right? It's a continuation of what happened in Season 5. That's kind of what MHA likes to do, which I think is kind of cool, even though it can be kind of confusing for people, I think. But they like to, if there's like a running theme, they'll title the episodes, or I guess in the manga it would be the chapters, like they'll title them like Part 1, 2, and 3, but like super far apart from each other. Which I've seen a few series do that in the past, but it's not super common. And I think I see MHA do it the most, where it's like, oh, okay, this is, you know, Deku vs Bakugo or whatever, and then this is Deku vs Bakugo Part 2, and it's like 3 seasons apart, you know. But I think it's a really cool thing to do, because until they reveal the title, which unfortunately I read the title beforehand, and also I wouldn't have been able to read it here anyway because this wasn't subtitled. But before it reveals the title, it shows you all the story, blah blah blah, showing you the story, and then it shows the title, and it's like almost trying to get you to immediately link the themes in with the previous episodes that it had in common with, you know? So like, if I use the example of Deku vs Bakugo, right? Because the first Deku vs Bakugos were with the in the original training exam, not training exam, but battle training that they did, where Bakugo was basically kind of finding out about Deku's powers, and was getting really like pent up on the rage of like being behind, you know? So they were fighting, and Bakugo was being blinded by his rage, and then Deku wins, you know? But then in the next Deku vs Bakugo, which is in season 3, it's a battle where Bakugo is blinded by his guilt instead, and he no longer thinks of Deku as someone who's behind him, but instead as someone he's chasing after, and Bakugo wins despite that, you know? And so there's these really beautiful symmetries, you know? There's beautiful mirrors, these beautiful parallels between the episodes, and they come to light even stronger when you title the episodes in the same way. So it's cool seeing this Hellish Todoroki family come back, or it's like before he was you know, sort of coming to terms with the fact that he did all these horrible things, but now in this episode he's facing the consequences of all the horrible things. And before, it was everyone in the world accepted him except his family, and now it's his family are the only ones who accept him and the world doesn't, you know? So it's really well done. It's really well done. I really like that stuff. I'm a sucker for the way Horikoshi writes this stuff, you know? This is the type of, you know, character writing and story progression that I really, really enjoy. So it's perfect for me. Seeing Hawks' backstory was, you know, very sad and depressing because, I mean, the man went through a lot, and I don't know what to think. I guess the point is his mother actually felt some regret, I imagine, from that letter. It didn't feel like, it kind of felt like a jump there where I feel like I missed something in between. And I mean, the point is I did miss something. Hawks missed stuff as well, I believe, because I think she basically all but cut ties with him. I mean, like, I imagine they probably still could have spoken to one another she didn't have to take any responsibility for him anymore. But the last scene we saw of them together was she was basically still being like, you know, use those useless feathers of yours or whatever. And then we cut to the future and he's reading the letter and she's saying like, I'm so proud of you, I'm sorry for all of this, you know. But like, she did give the information about him away, but that was like under duress. I wonder if it's like after being put through that traumatic situation and having seen everything Hawks has done over the past however many years, she just like all the guilt and regret hits her at once. I don't know. I have no idea. But she had floating eyeballs. So I imagine, because this show, the way they do powers obviously is they get passed down from your parents, and then powers sort of mix together in interesting ways, which I think is a very cool idea. That I also have always been iffy on, because the thing about it is, like, obviously there's stuff like Ares' power, which is a mutation. It's nothing like her parents' powers. It's just this like new thing that was created, which thank goodness that exists, because it makes it a bit more interesting. But I thought like the thing about powers sort of just mixing together and becoming their children's powers, like the thing that I've always found kind of sad about it is that like it makes the like it feels like there's less spontaneousness in the universe, you know, which I think in power shows and stuff, I think the spontaneousness of like, oh, this person was born and wow, they have this power, you know, I thought that was a really cool thing. And so originally I didn't like the fact that, you know, powers get passed down to your children. I wanted it to be like, you're born, this is your power. But the amount of stuff Horikoshi has done with that theme makes it all worth it, you know? It's your power, not his, for Todoroki, like his entire thing of, you know, these quirk marriages happening and all that sort of stuff, and the idea of the singularity where it's like these powers get stronger and stronger as they're passed down, so eventually maybe they're going to be too much to handle. And then also some of the stuff is kind of clever, and also some of it feels kind of like they're reverse engineering it, you know, like Bakugo's, which is like he can, you know, ignite his sweat or whatever, and it's like I think his parents' power was like one of them creates nitroglycerin and one of them can like ignite stuff or whatever, and like they got combined together in Bakugo so he can create explosions out of it. It's something like that, but it is like when stuff like that happens, it makes me feel like, okay, Horikoshi wrote Bakugo, and then he was like, I need to come up with an idea for the parents to have powers, and so he reverse engineers these powers. Like it feels like they wouldn't have had those powers if Horikoshi was just writing those characters individually. He never would have written characters with those powers, you know, at least not both of those powers and then having them get together. But you know, it sometimes things need to be reverse engineered for things to work out like that, you know. But I imagine with Hawks, his father had wings by the looks of it on his arms, and his mother had eyeballs floating, and I guess the way that those kind of combine together, I mean, like, look, sometimes I think they don't combine together and instead it's like you get one or the other, you know, it's who knows, it's like genes. But I think these ones did kind of combine together. I think there was wings on the arms, which gave him wings. And then her being able to have these extra body parts that were like floating eyeballs that she could turn and look at different things. I feel like that means that like she had the power basically to control these extra body parts. And so Hawks didn't have the floating eyeballs, but he had extra body parts in the form of wings. So that's why he has such great control over them. He can control each one individually because his mother could control 2 extra eyeballs individually, you know? That's really cool. I thought when we first saw the eyeballs, I thought the mother was going to turn around and her eye sockets were going to have nothing in them. That would have terrified me. That would have been horrifying. But no, they didn't do that. Anyway, I'm excited for the next episode, but that's it for this one. So thank you very much for watching. Tell me what you liked about this episode, and please make sure to support the video. And if you want full-length, early access, exclusive videos, all that stuff is on my Patreon account in the description below. Go check it out. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.